Hey, what is up everybody? So today I'm going to make a video about Trackables. So this video is probably not going to be too helpful for people that have geocached for a long time and already know what Trackables are. I'm going to offer some tips though that have worked for me, so maybe it'll benefit you. Mostly this video is for new people just starting out with geocaching, or they've been geocaching for a while that don't quite understand what Trackables are. And the reason why I'm making this video is I love sending out Trackables, but when I talk to people that have been doing this for a long time, they're kind of starting to get discouraged with sending out Trackables, mainly because they say they go missing. I figured they'd probably go missing for a couple of reasons. The number one reason being people that start out with geocaching might not quite understand what a trackable is and all the different types that there are, and they can easily get mistaken for swag. So the purpose of this video is to hopefully teach everybody the difference between a trackable and swag. What I'll also be doing is teaching you how to properly log a trackable. That is, you can either log it as discovered, retrieved, or dropped. And I'm going to show you that with the geocaching app. We're going to start with the main app because more than likely, well, that's just an app that everybody can use. More than likely, you'll probably start out with that app if you're just starting out geocaching. I'll also show you how to log them on the website too, and some other little tips and tricks in there and stuff along the way. But so let's get started. What is a trackable? Alright, well, let's see. A trackable is, trackable, I'm just kidding. So a trackable is an item that can come in various shapes and sizes, which we will go over a variety of them in this video. And its main purpose is basically to travel from geocache to geocache to places that we probably can't go ourselves, so we live, like, basically vicariously through this little piece of aluminum or whatever material it's made of. And if anybody is wanting to release some Trackables, I've been pretty successful so far. I haven't had any go missing. I've also had one already complete its mission, which hopefully I'll put a picture, boop, maybe somewhere here. It went all the way from Georgia to Pennsylvania, not quite directly in that path. It went all over the place. I eventually made it to my father, which was its goal, because he was one of the people that introduced me to geocaching. So I'm going to teach you some little tips and tricks that I've come along the way to help keep my travel bugs from being mistaken as swag, and some other things that I've done along the way to help other people's Trackables if I thought there's a chance that this could probably get mistaken as swag. Okay, so one of the travel bugs that you might see is just something that looks like a dog tag that has like this bug on it. Bug, get it? Travel bug. And it usually will say travel bug, and it's in the dog tag form. This might have been where it all began, but you usually see this, and it'll have a long chain with it, and it may or may not have a hitchhiker on it, which we will go into detail about hitchhikers more later on in this video. So that is one type of travel bug that you may find. There are also other ones like cashkins. They're very, very colorful. There's just so many. There's also these ones right here with a QR code. I don't want to show off the code because this one's not activated. So you kind of get the idea, right? It's just a QR code that you would scan, and that is also a type of travel bug. So here is a variety of different type of travel bugs. You also see ones that are stickers or tattoos or on people's vehicles or in various places. We're mostly going to be focusing on the ones that you can find in geocaches though. So here are travel bugs. Let's talk about some geocoins. Okay, so let's go over some different types of geocoins. Now they can come in all shapes and sizes. Here's one that you guys might have recently seen in my cache crate. So if you're looking at this, I mean, I could see like, oh, that's kind of pretty cool. Look at that. That might be some neat swag. Here's the thing. Like ones like this, I can see why they would go missing pretty easy because you can't tell when you first look at it. But right along the edge here, which again, I'm not going to show, there is a little code that's under my thumb, and that is what tells you that it is a trackable, okay? Most of the time they come in a circular pattern, hence the name Geocoin. It's circular like a coin, but you know, I will say they are the nicest looking of all the Trackables, and I can see easily why these would go missing the most. But that is why I'm making this video, because if you see something really cool looking like this, I want you to really double check it and see if there's any kind of lettering on there that might resemble a code, and it should even say track me at geocaching.com. So there's some coins. So, and again, they can come in different sizes. Like here's this. This is heavy duty. It's a horse with horseshoes on it, and there is a little code on the back. Again, my finger's covering that because I haven't activated this one yet. So here's another one that's in an odd shape. but it is a trackable. This is definitely something you don't keep. This is something that you want to continue to move on and help the person that originally started putting this out in the wild. Here's another shape, just to kind of give you a heads up. This is in the shape of a fish, and on the back side of this, I believe, is a code. Then they can even get smaller. This one, you know, may look a little bit more like a trackable to somebody because it is geocaching themed. At the same time, it could look like really cool geocaching swag. It's like, wow, check that out. That is neat. And for this one, for example, it says, take only memories, leave only logs. And that stands out a lot, but it's like etched in down here that this is trackable at geocaching.com. And there is a code right here under my thumb. So again, I could see easily why this might get mistaken for swag. So you really need to double check the swag that you take to see if it does have a code on it or not. And some Geocoins can even come in a size so small as this. So again, you have to be super, super careful when you were looking to see if it is swag or if it is a trackable. Look at this thing. I mean, it is like the size of my thumbnail. It is super tiny. This was one they put out for 3 million geocaches. I probably won't put this one out in the wild. It does have a loophole on it, so there's a chance that maybe I'll add it to a necklace or something like that. But it's so, so tiny. This is for sure going to probably get misplaced if not mistaken for swag. Okay, so hopefully that kind of gave you an idea of the different shapes and sizes that you can see trackables in, and I'm barely scratching the surface, okay? There's even some now that look like little toy cars or Legos, and they just go on and on and on and on. So, if you're watching this right now, and you're like, oh, man, I remember taking something kind of similar like that out of a cache before, check the swag that you've taken before. Really, really fine comb it over. Make sure there's no code on it. If you're hard of seeing, you know, get a magnifying glass, something. Whatever you need to do, ask somebody to take another look at it for you. See if there's a code on it. It is not too late to put a trackable out there that you might have mistakenly mistaken as swag. I've heard stories of cachers so excited that maybe months later or years later, one of their trackables has come back into play because somebody found that they had it and they didn't realize what it was. It's okay to make mistakes. We've all had to learn what a trackable was at one point when we first started out. So just do the right thing. If you think you might have one, log it, maybe contact the owner of the trackable, and put it back out. Or, you know, when you contact them, see if they maybe want you to send it back to them. They're probably okay with you just putting it back out there. If anything, they're just going to be excited that it's back in play again. These things all cost money, right? No matter what kind you get, they all cost money. So if someone invests some money in this, do the right thing and put it back out there for them. So parents, especially you that geocache with children, you know, I know children get super excited to run and find that cache and just start digging in there and just trying to find whatever swag there is. Maybe show them some of the things that I point out in this video, or just look through the things that they've taken. Really double check them. Maybe have a rule when you're geocaching with children, like that if they take anything, they have to show it to you first, and that way when you swap it out, you can exactly see what they're taking, so you can swap out something of equal or greater value, and that way you can be like, oh, wait, this is not swag, this is not something you can keep, we'd have to move it on. I've actually had parents contact me and said, oh man, my kid really likes your trackable, and I'm like thinking, oh, please don't keep it though, please don't keep it. And they've all been really good about moving it on. Like I said, this video is mostly to help people out, just getting started trying to understand the different types of trackables that there are, and at the same time, like, I really want to help those that you know, they just are really bummed out that their trackables are missing, because eventually, if you haven't yet, you may want to put some trackables out there. And I don't want to see yours go missing. So let's get into some ways to keep them from going missing. Also, by the way, look, here's another one. Check that out. That's a cute little duck. I can totally see why someone would be like, heck yeah, I'm keeping this. This is really cute. But that cute little duck has a really tiny code on it. Some of these are so, so tiny. So you really have to check very thorough, okay? Okay, so what, Jamie, what can I do to keep my travel bug or trackable, my geocoin, whatever you want to call them, from going missing? Okay, so these are some things that I've done in the past so people know, hey, don't keep me. I'm not swag. First off, I would say probably always put your travel bug or geocoin in some kind of container. So Geocoins, they kind of already come in like a little plastic container. That may help stand out so you can know what they are. And we'll also tell you what else to do with these plastic containers. If they happen to break, then, you know, if you find one, maybe be a good geocacher. So just like we do cache maintenance, do travel bug maintenance. Put it in a little bag, you know. And what I'm going to say with each one of these bags is, so like I have a couple travel bugs, so they go in like sandwich bags or these little baggies. I mean, you can buy these little baggies. I bought a bunch. They're at like any of your hobby type craft store, usually around where the jewelry is. I've ordered some off of Cash-Advance's website. I actually like their little baggies better because they seem to be thicker. Like, these are kind of thin and I don't completely trust them. They are waterproof. I have tested them, but Cash-Advance's are just, I don't know. I don't know where they get theirs from, but they're definitely thicker material. And I think I got like a pack of 10 for like $1 and some change. That's not bad at all for how much I'll go through them when I'm either doing cash maintenance or putting a trackable in there and sending it off into the wild. Not only do you want to use like some kind of plastic baggie or plastic container to make it stand out from the rest, you also can put in little cards like these. I don't know exactly where you get these from, but they basically say, you know, what they are. Like, so hopefully people take the moment to read these. It says, please move this traveler to another geocache. This is not a trackable, not a trade item. So these are very cool. I've definitely seen some people do these. And that way you know right off, oh, yeah, don't keep that. And then you know it's a trackable. So some other things you can do is, okay, so for example, in this one, whenever you activate your travel bug, geocaching.com's website has a little printable paper that you can print out. I can't remember what they called it. It's like when you're looking at the main page, it's on the right hand side. You have some options there to add photos, like your default photo. And you can, I don't know, I can't remember what it's called. You'll see it when you look on the website. But in this one, like, this little paper goes in here. It's kind of a big guy, so this paper can fit in there. I think I even printed it smaller than what it originally printed out as. You know how you can just change that on your printer before you print it. So right at the top of the page, it says, this is no ordinary geocaching trading item. And then it goes into detail what it is. So I made a Signal the Frog out of perler beads. He's attached to a little Signal the Frog. What's also neat about something like this is the current goal is also listed on this page, so somebody doesn't even have to really deep dive on your trackable page or looking through the app. They can see right here as soon as they pull it out. Like, they can just pull it out and be like, oh, okay, their goal is to do this. Cool. Yeah, that's not something I'll be able to help them with. I'm going to leave it in here for somebody else. Or, you know, I could probably get it a little bit further along its way. I'll be glad to take that one and help it out. What I've also done in the past is I've literally taken like an index card and I've just wrote on there, mission is this, you know, even if it's just, and sometimes you just have a travel bug that you don't care, you'll just let it can travel anywhere, and that's fine. You don't really have to add anything in there. I've even just taken an index card and just wrote on a little index card in the baggie that says, this is a travel bug, keep it moving. So if, say you find, like, say for example, like that cute little ducky that I showed you earlier, I found one that was similar like this, and it was just loose. It was completely loose. It probably originally started out in a bag like this, but they break, right? Like wear and tear. I actually put it in a really tiny, little Ziploc bag that I think, again, I got from Cash Advance for a maintenance kit, and I put a little note in there. It says, not swag, keep it moving. And that's my way to hopefully keep that geocoin going a little bit longer. I don't know, as someone that owns Trackables, if everybody's okay with this, right? Like this, everything that I'm mentioning in this video is my personal opinion and just things that I've found that work for me and hopefully are working for others when I'm moving them along. Now, the main thing that I will say probably for any travel bug that you put out there, this really doesn't work for geocoins. For geocoins, I'd really stressing putting it in something that makes it stand out, that is not swag, and leaving a note with it. And that stuff goes missing, right? People, like, I don't know what happens. Even when my travel bug made it to my father, it did not still appear the way it did when I first sent it off to him. I can't remember if he said it was still in the sandwich bag. He definitely said the note that said what its mission was, and the little story around it, he said all that was gone. So as someone that finds one of these, if you think it needs a little assistance so people don't mistake it for swag, because you might have picked it up and originally mistook it for swag, help it out. Maybe put in a little bag, put a little note that says, do not keep, this is not swag, keep it moving. Something like that. Or if you got a bunch of these cards or something, whatever you gotta do, guys. Let's help each other out. Let's keep these moving. Okay, so for trackables, one thing I will always stress is use a hitchhiker, right? So a hitchhiker is just something that you attach to a travel bug. It can be anything. It really doesn't matter what you attach to it. My recommendations are, do not attach anything to this that's worth a lot of money, because you're more than likely never getting it back. So that also means do not attach something on here that you expect to get back. Attach something on here that you're okay with it possibly getting lost or damaged or stolen. I like to make things out of perler beads. Hopefully while I'm talking here, I'm flashing up some images of some other hitchhikers I've had on previous travel bugs. But yeah, I will always recommend definitely attaching a hitchhiker. I feel like that helps it stand out, and I'm going to show you why. So for example, this isn't the biggest of travel bugs. This is really tiny. The reason why I made this one tiny is it's easier to find a home for it whenever you're trying to move it from geocache to geocache. I've definitely made some bigger travel bugs, and they definitely don't move as fast because, you know, you can't always find a cache container that fits in. So you have to know that going in. If you're gonna make something big, know it might not always move as much as you want it to. But anyway, the reason why I say a hitchhiker should be very, very important is because, check this out. Like, say there's no hitchhiker on this, right? It just looks like a cute little doggy keychain. It looks like something you could put on your backpack, maybe on your keys. I can see definitely a child, or even just someone like a big child like myself being like, oh, that's really cute. I'd like to add that, put that on my bag or something. But the thing is, it's trackable. So I don't know, can you guys see that code? So if you can see this code, you can definitely log it as discovered if you want. If you don't know how to discover them yet, write this code down, because this can be one that you test with later on when I show you how to discover a travel bug. We'll show you this one too. So, but the reason why I also want to show you the backs of these, right? So this one, it's really big. It says, don't keep me, okay? So hopefully that is something you notice right away and you read it a little bit more. Move me to a new geocache soon. Track me at geocaching.com/track. So this one, right? This one and other similar dog tag shaped ones, they do tend to be more noticeable that they are not swag, okay? But something like this, no offense to this, I think these little things are adorable. You know, they say on the back also, do not keep me, track me at geocaching.com. It is a bit tinier, and there is a chance that people might just be so distracted by the cuteness that they do not see that, okay? So when you attach a hitchhiker to it, I think it draws a little bit more attention to it. You're like, what is this? Why is this attached to it? And when it's in a bag, and when that bag has a note in it that says what it is, I mean, you're pretty much setting yourself up for success, unless somebody really doesn't know what they're doing when they grab one of these, right? It's like, what? It's like, oh, like a little grab bag. It's got all kinds of stuff in it, and a note that I didn't read. Of course, it can happen, right? With the hitchhikers, though, I will probably say one of the most common hitchhikers that I see with these is a toy car. And it makes sense, right? Because they're traveling, and a car seems like the perfect little travel toy. And you can get some of these really cheap at like a dollar store. So people get them because they can attach, and you can move it along. So, again, parents, please check with whatever your kids are taking. Make sure there's not trackable attached to whatever toy they're taking. And here's another thing, guys. Be careful. Like, these chains break, okay? So if you have one and you notice, like, oh, I had to put this back together, maybe take it. Maybe doctor it up. Maybe use some tape on it or something. Also, again, put it in a little baggie. So if the chain breaks off, it also helps the wear and tear on the chain when you keep it in a little bag. Everything protects these trackables a little bit longer, plus the code on the back. When it's in a little baggie, it's not going to get scraped up by other items in a geocache, and the code will be legible a lot longer. So that's another reason why I stress really putting it in some kind of protection so people realize what it is. Let's show you how to discover, retrieve, and drop a trackable. Okay, here we are. So we found a geocache, and this one is a travel bug hotel, so I figured it'd be the best way to teach you how to log travel bugs, because there's for sure travel bugs here. Okay, so what you want to do is, alright, so here's the geocaching page. When you scroll down, you're going to see the attributes and stuff like that. Okay, so here's the inventory. You can see currently it says I'm viewing 5 of 27. I apologize about the cicadas, they're a bit loud. So in order to log a trackable from your phone, you're going to go ahead and hit log from inventory. Now there's two ways to see this, okay? All these right here are currently trackables that should be in this cache, okay? And you can click any one on here. Like, for example, if I click this one, it tells me a bit about it. You can see the description, you can see its recent activity. Oh look, Stardustzzz owns this one. So we'll use that as a test one you guys can log. Oh, you can see the goal here. What did I even make for the goal for this? Okay, it's already made its goal. So you can click that so you can find out more about its goal. I selected for something smaller, can fit in more caches. It is free to travel any destination where a geocacher would like to take it. Okay, so this one's easy. This is one you would just take anywhere you'd possibly want, okay? And you can do that with any of the trackables in here. Oh, for example, too, when I click that, you can see the picture that I put with it. kind of hidden in the background there, so it helps you easily determine which trackable it is. Hopefully by the names of these you can kind of tell which travel bug you're looking at, so let's find out. Let's see what's in there. Here's the one that I know belongs to me, so if you want to practice with your own, I'm going to go ahead and log my own trackable from in here that I've discovered it. And what you can do is you can play along. I'm going to blur the one that I'm doing, but you can play along by discovering this one. So this is mine. Let's see if that'll focus. Take a picture of it. But that is the code right there that you can discover this travel bug, because this one belongs to me. And by the way, most caches don't have this many in here unless it's a travel bug hotel. So it's usually not this complicated. Okay, so I already know what this one is. This vehicle right here is this Reno's Trailblazer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit log. Okay, so yeah, from here what you got to do is enter in a tracking code. If the trackable is missing, you can still, I believe, write the trackable owner a note. So you can just tap on that and just say, I did not see this in this cache. Just to kind of give the cache owner a heads up that it might be missing. If it's missing, at least they kind of know. Somebody might have taken it already and forgot to log it. I always recommend that if you ever take a trackable out of a cache, you should be using this instantly to log that you have taken it. Same thing if you drop it off, you should probably log it instantly that you have taken or dropped it off. Alright, so if I wanted to, I could leave this person a note and I could just say something like, I did not see this in the cache. Whatever I want to say, like it's missing from cache. I mean, if you're not sure if it was in there or not, because it's a lot of stuff, maybe not leave a note. Okay, but for this case, we're going to go ahead and we're going to discover this one. Right here, I put in the tracking code, and then the rest of my choices light up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit discover. Alright, so I just put a little note, saw in the Travel Bug Hotel. Then you just go ahead and hit post. Where I want to go from here is, in the trackable inventory, there is a tab for geocache and a tab for yours. Geocache just means this is currently everything that is inside the geocache. Yours is everything that you currently have in your possession. So here are all the trackables that I currently have in my possession. And with me today, I did bring my Hurtengurren penguin one and my Canadian beaver. So I'm going to go ahead and drop these off in this trackable. So here, for example, this is exactly how you would do that when you want to go ahead and drop off a trackable that you have currently in your possession. Just go ahead and hit log. Okay, so when you're going to drop off a trackable, hopefully you can figure out which one it is by the name of it. You try to name them as close to what they look like as possible, but some people do still use the generic field that it auto fills for them. So in this case, when I hit log, I do have the trackable code right there. So again, this is mine, so I'm okay with showing that off. If anybody wants to discover it, please do not retrieve it or drop it unless you physically have it in your hands. But if you're just watching this video, you can go ahead and discover it. So I did check that it does match the one I am dropping off, so I'm going to go ahead and hit drop. And happy trails. That's all I'm going to put, and spelling autocorrect. And then we go ahead and hit post. And perfect. So it is no longer in my inventory now. If I go to the geocaching inventory, let's see if this updated yet. Oh, it did. Sorry, I went all the way to the top. So now it shows in the geocaching inventory, which means it's got to go in the geocache. Okay, something I would recommend. So if you're just going to discover, there's probably no hurry for it, and this tends to happen a lot like at events and stuff like that. There'll be so many trackables. So what people do is, you want to open up your smartphone and you just want to take a picture of the trackable. So here's the trackable for this one. I'm going to use this as an example because I'm going to show you how to discover these on your computer later on. So I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of this one with my smartphone. And so if you did want to retrieve it, same thing. You'd be in the geocache log, you'd hit log, you'd type in the code, which I already have, and then you would hit retrieve, and then you take that one with you. And it's as simple as that. Then it'll show in your inventory. You may have to refresh the app or just go back out and come back in. Alright everybody, and here we are on the geocaching website page, so I can show you how to log a trackable from this page. So once you're on the geocaching page, you're going to go ahead and click play. You're going to go down to Trackables. It'll bring up this page right here. And what you're going to, this page has actually changed somewhat recently. There is some more information about Trackables on this page. Feel free to read anything to learn a little bit more. If you're going to log a Trackable, what you want to do is you want to go right here to this search by code or name, and you're going to go ahead and type in a Trackable, the code that was on the travel bug or coin or toy or whatever it was that actually is a geocaching Trackable. So this is how you'll find out. Basically, you'll type it in, which for video purposes it is blurred right now, so you guys can't see what it is, but that's where you'll put yours. You'll just hit search, and what it does is it brings up the Trackables page. So from here, what you're going to do is you're going to go over here where it says found it, log it, just like you would for a geocache if you do them from the website. I don't think it's showing up on the recording, but yeah, you would just click this arrow and you would just hit discovered it. If you grabbed it, if you retrieved it, you could also do that too, but I highly recommend that if you retrieve it to try to use the app, just because it'll log it pretty instantly, unless you're pretty quick about logging these things on the website. And just like a log, I don't see too many people leaving the longest of logs for a Trackable. I know with geocaches, we kind of don't really like the TFTC or smiley face or found it. You want something a little bit more detailed there because somebody did put the time in to hide that geocache. So for this, you could just put something here. It doesn't have to be too long, but at least something nice, because what happens is this message goes right to the Trackable owner. I myself, they come right to my cell phone as an email, and I like reading every single one that I get. And when they're in different languages, I just use Google Translate to see what they said. So you leave a message just like you do when you log a geocache, and then go ahead and hit submit log entry, and it'll now say that I have discovered that one. So right here it is. I discovered this 15 years of geocaching Geocoin. From this page though, if you have another one to log, you can do it right here. You can just erase what's down here, put in another code, go ahead and go, and then you just do it again and again and again. And while I was editing this video, I realized I forgot to put a closer on it. So that is where I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video about Trackables. I hope it's helped at least somebody out there. And those of you that have already done Trackables, maybe you learned a thing or two. And if there's any tips that you have that I didn't mention in this video, feel free to leave a comment below. And that way others can see other great advice about travel bugs and Trackables and all that stuff. So thanks again for anybody that stuck it out this far in the video. If you did like it, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you're not already, you should go ahead and subscribe to my video because I'm going to have other informational videos like this and just regular old geocaching and other videos on my channel. Feel free to leave a comment below. I do enjoy reading those and I try to respond to as many as possible. So until next time, guys, I will see you later. Bye.